Hi, I'm Michelle Bernstein at my restaurant Mishi's in Miami. I am making shrimp tiradito from my book Cuisina Latina. So to start making shrimp tiradito, obviously the most important part is the shrimp. So what I've got here are beautiful head-on shrimp. We try to find local, and if you can't get a really beautiful local shrimp, just make sure it's a really good quality. And what we've done here is put the shrimp on skewers to sort of keep them a little more straight, just for presentation's sake. It's not really important to have them that straight. It's just a personal preference because I love the look of it. So we put them into water that has a little bit of this Old Bay seasoning. If you're not in love with Old Bay, which by the way you can find in any supermarket, you can use paprika or a little bit of cayenne pepper for flavor. You can even throw in a pepper, a garlic, clove, or an onion into your water just for additional flavor because you can never have enough flavor. So I'm putting this into boiling flavored water just until it cooks. It should only take about 2 minutes, maybe even a minute and a half, because I don't necessarily need my shrimp to be cooked until it's really, really, hard and sort of overdone. We just want them just cooked perfectly. So then I pull out the shrimp when they're just about done so that they can sort of continue cooking outside of the hot water. So we'll just pull them out right now. It's been about a minute and 20 seconds. And as you can see, they're already beautifully orange. And I do cook them with the head and the tail intact. I just find that it gives you a little more flavor, true shrimp flavor. And if you want to put them into ice water, it's perfectly fine if you think you've overcooked them just a little bit. It will stop the cooking process, but as far as I'm concerned, I think that truly washes out flavor. So these are the shrimp. What you do next is just keep them out nice and sort of flat and let them cool. Once they're cool, you just remove the head and the tail so that you have perfect clean shrimp. Now these have the tail on them, which is actually kind of fun, so you don't need a fork. You use the tail as the handle. But if you want people to eat them with a fork and a knife, which a lot of people like to, you go ahead and you take off the tail as well. So for the fun part, this is the sauce, the tiradito part of it. And what this is sort of a mayonnaise, if you will. You either use a store-bought mayonnaise. I love to make mayonnaise. It's really up to you. There's a fabulous mayonnaise that you can find at a Japanese grocery called Kewpie. Kewpie's awesome. So you take a little bit of mayonnaise, put it into a bowl, add some ginger, a little bit of celery. Celery is very important to everything Peruvian. It's the most important ingredient in ceviche and also in tiradito. Some fresh squeezed lime juice. If you're going to bother preparing fresh food, you have to make fresh lime juice. So don't buy it, you got to make it. A little bit of sea salt. I love using Malden salt. It's from England and it's a fabulous crunchy sea salt. I'm going to mix all that together. Then I'm going to add ají amarillo paste. This is a Peruvian specialty. Ají amarillos are yellow spicy chilies found only in Peru. You can get them in this country either frozen or in a paste. And this is great because all the work is already done for you and it's just the pureed ají amarillo. They might put a little salt in here, but it's fabulous. And you can get this at any Peruvian store, which by the way, they always have Peruvian stores next to Peruvian restaurants. Good little hint. So it comes in a paste just like this, and it's really fragrant and spicy. It's more fragrant than it is spicy though. A little bit of that. You don't want to go too far with it. Mix that up and it turns a beautiful golden yellow color. And then you have all those little crunchy bits inside. Then I chop up an onion. I like to julienne it in just little thin slices, as thin as possible. Just like so, not too much of it. Break it apart, and you see how nice and thin this is. Take away the center part. This is what you want, true thin slices. Then another element for crunchy would be corn nuts. And you can buy corn nuts. They actually make them here in Florida, and I love them in the produce section. But if you don't live here, I know that some other companies make really good corn nuts. And I like to just chop them up briefly. So you take this beautiful ají amarillo mayonnaise, and we're going to top each shrimp with just a little touch of it. Make sure you have those crunchy little bits of celery and ginger. Then we'll top that with the julienne onion, corn nuts, extra virgin oil, and some nice picked cilantro leaves. Don't chop them up, not necessary. Some nice whole leaves are fine, just don't use too many. And then, since I have it here, I'm going to use a little more of that sea salt, just right over the top. And there you have it, my style of shrimp tiradito. I'm Michelle Bernstein, and this is a video bite from Miami Dish.